Hello all, it's Jmix here, and I'd like all my YouTube subs and viewers to check out AJ Benza's new podcast called Fame is a Bitch. You can check out the first couple episodes if you hit this link right here, which will also be in the description, but I highly encourage you guys to get it on Google Play, get the app, tune in, and listen. For those who want the inside information on some of the most scandalous celebrity events, I think this podcast is going to be for you. So be sure to get it on Google Play and support AJ Benza. Without any further ado, here's the next installment.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Start and get to Newsday.
Jesse, I was a married guy, and then I got divorced in 1991, and I had a little money in the bank, and I started going out to nightclubs in Manhattan, and I started seeing things that I never thought I'd see. Actually, I always thought I'd be famous. I always thought people would know me. I don't want to say famous. I always thought people would know me, and I started going out, and I went out one night trying to sneak into Vogue magazine's 100th birthday party at the New York Museum or library. It was a big event. I couldn't get in, and I got thrown out, and I turn around, and Mickey Rourke gets thrown out 2 minutes after me. And I love Mickey Rourke. I mean, The Pope of Greenwich Village is one of my favorite movies. I have the word Pope on my arm. Pope is my nickname. So when he comes out, I'm looking at him and I'm going, holy shit, this is a big moment in my life. Here comes Mickey Rourke. And he looked at me and he goes, what happened to you? And I said, I got thrown out. He goes, me too. Get in my car. We're going to go downtown to a place. This whole party's going to be at this club in an hour. And it was so surreal. I jumped in a town car with Mickey Rourke, but one of my favorite actors I was obsessed with, and I just couldn't contain myself. We got to the little club downtown, and sure enough, an hour later, the whole party from the Vogue magazine birthday party shovels into this little nightclub, and I saw things that night. I saw supermodels making out. I saw people doing drugs. I saw crazy stuff. So I gave some tips to a gossip columnist at a newspaper in New York. They loved it. And within a few weeks, this gossip columnist said, look, why don't you run around for me, get some stuff on people. I'll pay you, $50, $100 a night. I'll get you into the nightclubs. And, boy, it didn't take long. 3 or 4 weeks later, she was asked to write her own gossip column at the New York Daily News. And they asked her, who do you want to take with you? And she said, me, because I was young and I had legs. I was 31. So I got in there, and we started pounding the pavement and writing gossip about New York City. And that's how I made my bones. I was very different as a gossip columnist. Most gossip columnists in New York were gay or women or English. Nobody was a street kid, who had long hair with earrings and wore clogs and 18 bracelets. I was very different. And people took to me. Celebrities took to me. And that's what started me going up the ladder in terms of being a celebrity reporter and a gossip columnist. And, I have friends to this day who lived with me when I was divorced who said, man, I remember when you said you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you did it. And it's all about dreaming and just not accepting no and knowing that you belong someplace. And, it happened. It may not be important to everybody, but to me it was the most important thing in the world.
Did you
and
ever
that's how I
run
met Tupac. That's how I met Tupac, through Mickey Rourke, because Tupac and Mickey were filming a movie called Bullet downtown in Manhattan. And Mickey was my guy, and once I went to the set, boom, there's Tupac, and I took a liking to him. He took a liking to me, and as a journalist, he was anxious to tell me how much he loved to read, how much he loved books, how much he loved Italian people, and we really hit it off. And man, I was with Tupac every night for a long time. Before he got shot up the first time at the studios. But yeah, that started the whole thing with me, Mickey, and Tupac that was really important in my career.
What do people get wrong about Tupac all these years later now that he's reached this kind of legendary status?
I think you're one of the people who's reported on Tupac more than anybody. And I don't think it's news that I'm going to tell you that he was a tough kid. I'm a tough kid too. But when push comes to shove, I'd rather not fight. And that's what Tupac was. We like to keep up a personality about being a tough guy, etc. But Tupac didn't want to fight. He didn't want to be a fighter. Yeah, the Oakland thing was always following him, but Tupac used to show me what he'd like to do when a fight broke out, when somebody jumped on him, and that was he'd lay on his side and do like a Three Stooges spin. He'd spin his legs and keep turning so he wouldn't have to fight the guy. So as hard-ass as he was, his first inclination was to avoid a fight. And yeah, look, the kid was tough, but he was very sensitive. And there were great nights when him and I would sit there in the midst of this crazy New York nightlife, and he'd tell me, we talk about books on the New York Times bestsellers list and how he read them all, and he begged me, don't fucking tell no one I read those books, man. It's going to fuck me up with my street cred. I can't let people know I'll read every book on the New York Times bestsellers list. And that's a kind of a prison that he was in early on that people don't know about. Even his relationship with Madonna, I knew about that. And I knew what he was going through with that. That I'm glad it's coming out now in the last several weeks to a bigger extent about how Madonna was after him and was with him, and she wrote him love letters, and he was like telling her, look, it's one thing for you to love me, but for me as a black man to love you is very bad for my career, and I cannot, I can't be cool with this. And it was really insane to the extent that Madonna bailed him out at some point, and he couldn't even publicly thank her because it would have hurt his career with the rap and hip-hop audiences. And he wasn't happy about that. So it's a very, very deep character that people just have no idea how deep he was and how deep it ran with Tupac.
Well, you definitely know your shit. I know that you know this, but not a lot of people know about Madonna's role in the bail.
Oh man, know that. He would listen. He would call me, and I'm gonna talk really colloquially because that's the way Pac was. He'd say, "Look, this bitch wants to fuck me, man. She wants to fuck Tupac." And I'd say, "Well, you're fucking her. You have to. She's fucking Madonna." He goes, "I know, motherfucker. I know. I'm gonna fuck her, man. But she's telling me to come to her apartment at 8. I'm like, no. Here's what you do. You don't get there at 8. You fucking get there at 9:30. You're Tupac. You get there. Yeah. You're right. Fuck that shit. I'm getting there." And we had these little things, these little conversations that were so important to me. And whatever they meant to him, they meant to him. But the fact that I was involved in that little foreplay or whatever the fuck it was, that Madonna said, "Come to my apartment at 8." And I said to him, no, you're getting there at 9:30. Fuck her. And he'd come back and call me the next day and goes, "Damn, fuck, she was even crazier about me because I fucking got there late." I said, I told you you got to treat her that way because she gets everything she wants. So as big as he was and as great as he was, and listen, yeah, Madonna writes pop singles. Tupac was writing the most amazing shit, but he's still at the top of his game, respected what I told him and was wide-eyed about me giving him instructions. I'm not trying to take credit for all that shit, but still, it was like he didn't even understand. Like, no, don't fucking don't do what she says to do. You do your thing. You be Tupac. And in the long run, that's what she wanted. She wanted him to be a tough guy and have him on his terms. Yeah, man. People don't know that was a very deep relationship.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?